Hello everybody, today we are in the museum in Halle, and this is a particular museum because it spans the whole time frame from the Lower Paleolithic to the Upper Paleolithic and then even the Mesolithic.
And here in this museum is a very, very important piece, namely the engraved bones from Bilzingsleben, which dates back to the Lower Paleolithic and is worldwide one of the first evidences for deliberate marking of a bone. So I'm very excited to see this piece here.
And we will also be able to see the so-called Shaman of Bad Dürrenberg, because there is a new exhibition and they will take her out of the showcase and put her into the new exhibition. So we will talk to the people about this Mesolithic burial.
Have fun with the video.
Welcome to Stone Age Science. We are scientists investigating information encoding from the earliest science in the Paleolithic to the modern day information age. We take you with us on our journey to museums and universities, examining the mobile artifacts in their originals to understand the science of the Stone Age.
Bitte steigen Sie ein. Vorsicht an.
In the State Museum for Prehistory in Halle, we met with Dr. Marcel Weiss. He is a lithicist, so a stone tool expert. He has worked, for instance, on the site of Ranis, which made a major impact recently because in this site human remains were found which are dated to 45,000 years ago, so some of the earliest modern human remains in Central Europe. Eva and myself visited the site of Ilsenhöhle, and we will show you some footage at the end of this video. In the museum in Halle, when we arrived, everybody was rather busy because right now they prepared a new exhibition centered around the find of the so-called Shaman of Bad Dürrenberg. This is a middle-aged woman who was laid to rest around 9,000 years ago, so in the Mesolithic period, and there is a whole host of grave goods that were given to her for the afterlife. For example, animal teeth, which are partly perforated and could have been worn as a type of necklace, an antler piece that might have been worn like a headdress, mussel shells, and shells also of at least 3 turtles. Eva and I had the opportunity to talk to Professor Jörg Orschied, who is one of the main researchers behind these particular finds, and he explained to us that this woman had very striking pathologies. For example, an extreme wear, an extreme modification of her front teeth.
Es muss schnell gegangen sein, weil das Blut muss abgelaufen sein, weil wenn das noch angebrochen wäre, dann kriegt man einen schwarzen Zahn. Weißt du, das ist wie beim Bluterguss, dann gibt es eine Einblutung. So. Und das ist nicht passiert. Das heißt, es muss so schnell gegangen sein, dass da quasi Blut rausgelaufen ist und dann ist der Nerv irgendwann und hat gesagt, so, hier reicht's jetzt, geh raus und dann war der Zahn gut.
One interesting aspect of this is that you couldn't see these modifications of the teeth from the outside, so it was probably not due to social signaling.
Deswegen denke ich, es ist ein funktionaler Archiv, die hat das gemacht. Aber so exzessiv, dass halt der Zahn keine Zeit mehr hatte zu reagieren, weil normalerweise, wenn Zähne ja abgenutzt werden, bildet sich so Sekundärdentin, das verschließt die Nervhöhle. Das ist hier nicht passiert.
Another curious aspect is that in terms of her lifestyle, she doesn't fit into her time.
Dann kann man so Indizes berechnen und die liegen im sesshaften Bereich bei den Neolithikern. Das heißt, es ist keine Aktivitätsmuster, da keine Mesolithikerin, sondern Neolithiker. Also sesshaft.
Vielleicht ist sie ja auch eingekauft worden.
Nein, die ist ja 1000 Jahre früher. Ja.
Also ja.
Oder
Aus dem
1500 Jahre.
Orient.
Und die ist, Herkunft hier, Western Hunter Gatherer, also die ist local. Das heißt nichts dran zu machen. Und das ist.
Ja, vielleicht hat sie ja einfach ein.
Nee, die saß da und die Leute kamen zu ihr wahrscheinlich.
But the weirdest thing is yet to come.
Hier diese Einkörner hier und dann eben diesen unvollständigen Halswirbel. Und hier hat sie noch diesen Hubel an dem darauffolgenden Halswirbel. Und der blockiert dann, also das hier stößt dann da dran, wenn man den Kopf zurücknimmt. Das heißt, du kannst den Kopf nicht mehr drehen. Wir haben das simuliert und dann sieht man halt sehr deutlich, was passiert, nämlich dass das Blutgefäß abgeklemmt ist. So. Und dann kann man sich jetzt überlegen, was passiert. Und es hat mehrere Möglichkeiten. Neurologische Ausfälle schon. Und eine davon ist dieser Nystagmus.
Das ist auch praktisch.
Das ja natürlich, wenn sie das hatte, ist das natürlich ein Grund wahrscheinlich, warum sie ausgesucht wurde als Schamanin. Das ist schon spooky ist.
Given the richness of grave goods in this burial, Eva hoped that she would be able to identify some deliberate modifications on the surfaces of these mobile artifacts, but this does not seem to be the case. We joined Marcel Weiss and his colleague Birgit Fischer in the study room of the museum, where they looked into the microliths which were given to the Shaman of Bad Dürrenberg as grave goods, and it was interesting to hear their theories about these particular finds.
Ich denke, man gibt sowas mit, weil die wurden ja scheinbar benutzt und sind nicht kaputt, also funktionieren noch und die waren erfolgreich.
Das habe ich mir auch schon gedacht, ja.
Und ich gebe jetzt jemandem die Pfeile mit, die erfolgreich gewesen sind, ne? Weil das hat zur Jagd funktioniert. Da kann sie absolut sicher sein, dass die dem Geist der Tiere, des Rehs und des Hirsches gewogen sind.
Ja.
Und das damit
Sowas in der Art, naja, weil ich mir überlegt habe, warum haben die, also entweder haben sie keine Zeit gehabt, aber das ist Blödsinn, weil sowas machst du in einer halben Stunde wahrscheinlich, diese Dinger. Warum haben die gebrauchte Stücke der ins Grab mitgeben? Und dann habe ich mir gedacht, naja, vielleicht in der Tat waren das erfolgreiche Pfeile.
In the study room we were supported by Katharina Kröppel. She's a volunteer of the permanent exhibition and she provided us with the material to study. For us, the main artifact of this exhibition is the elephant bone from the Lower Paleolithic of Bilzingsleben, which is several 100,000 years old. As you can see, this is quite a large piece, so it was challenging for Eva to even get the right angle with the microscope and to get the right lighting so you can see these fine incisions on the side of it. In her PhD thesis, Eva has defined overall 4 criteria for deciding whether we are looking at intentional marks. First of all, we want to have controlled strokes. In the case of a cut mark of butchery, you typically don't have a clear beginning and end point of a stroke. Here, in this case, these strokes seem to be controlled. You also want to see repeated strokes in the same place. This does not seem to be the case here, so you have several strokes on the side, but not in one place. So reinforcing a stroke. You want to see regular patterns. This again seems to be the case. So you have this fanning out pattern, which almost looks like the rays of light from sunshine. And fourthly, you would like to have a finished artifact, because in the case of a finished artifact, like say a tool or even a figurine, it seems more likely that people have also adorned it with signs. So 2 of these 4 criteria are met, and Eva is leaning more in the direction of saying that these are really intentional surface modifications, not just the byproduct of, say, butchery, which is very remarkable because this artifact is just incredibly old, and it's in fact a singular find of this time period. There were some further artifacts, like for instance the stone slab, which Eva studied, or this bone piece from Breitenbach. This is now from the Aurignacian period. It has also some regular incisions on it, but in general there wasn't a mass of artifacts like the ones we have found in other museums. So this gave us a short time window to also go into the general exhibition of the museum with our hosts. Now, we didn't give up quite yet. We went to the warehouse of the museum, which is managed by Dr. Veit Tresely, and he explained to us what a formidable task it is to organize the 7.5 million artifacts, some of which are casts of whole excavation layers which are stored in this warehouse.
Sodass wir gar nicht mehr inventarisieren müssen, sondern dass es von der Grabung im Grunde genommen inventarisiert kommt. Das ist auch die einzige Möglichkeit, diese Riesenmengen, das können wir gar nicht nacharbeiten.
Aber das ist, ich meine...
Ganz einfach, nochmal Standort, Barcode. Aber jetzt zum Beispiel hier ist jetzt von der Grabung mit piepbaren Inventarnummern.
Das machen schon die Grabungen selber.
Das machen die Grabungen selber.
The number of boxes you see here in this room in its full width and length is what comes in every single year from excavations in the state of Sachsen-Anhalt. So all of this needs to be logistically dealt with. Marcel also showed us some of the bone and stone slabs that come from the site of Bilzingsleben, so where also the elephant bone that we analyze comes from, because he's currently re-evaluating these finds for whether they are genuine tools. Late in the evening, we then went to the Ilsenhöhle in Rannis. And this is the place where we now know that some smaller human groups of Homo sapiens ended up when they entered Central Europe. And they left tools behind, which typically, historically, have been associated with Neanderthals. So these finds really overturned in the last couple of years our idea of the settlement of Central Europe by Homo sapiens and how they interacted and overlapped with Neanderthal cultures. Can you imagine? This is the landscape where some of the earliest modern humans ended up when they entered Central Europe. They lived in a world of mammoths, wild horses, bison, and cave lions.